First off, regarding my strengths, I found that I gained a really good understanding of inquiry-based teaching, and I got to use that at the end of the semester. You could see it in my masterpiece lesson plan. Um, it's a science lesson plan, which I found that typically science is almost always going to be inquiry-based. But I think that that's because inquiry-based teaching is really great for hard to understand concepts, like things that are really difficult to understand with or explain with words. It's easier to learn and grasp through kind of a trial and error, which is what, not trial and error, but try it and see what happens, which is kind of what inquiry-based learning is. It was really cool to see the preschool children watch the water turn into ice and then watch the ice melt with the salt and the warm water and see which one melted faster. I also gained a lot of teaching tools, particularly in technology. I knew about Kahoot and the dancing. I put it in my discussion. Um, but I did learn about Khan Academy and Rewind, which are really good websites that I had never heard of before, and they're really good tools for teaching and learning. And I think that as we kind of grow as a society into a more technology-based culture, it just kind of gives something to the students that they're familiar with while they're using technology to learn, and it is a great way for teachers to formatively assess what the students know, and so they're anonymous with their peers and not embarrassed and will answer honestly, but the teacher knows what their answer is and they can intervene if the child is behind or is kind of seems lost. Something to know, something that I really wish, this is just overall, in my master's program that I really wish I would have learned is the testing. Like the state testing, every school around here has adopted a different kind of testing. Today I heard about a new one. I don't know. Where I grew up, it was everyone took standardized testing in elementary and middle school, and then in high school everyone took the STAR test. And nobody did anything different, and I had never heard of anything else. And now I came to Reno, and everyone is from big cities where they're used to having 3 or 4 tests that different schools take that their friends took, and they know all about it. I have never heard of any of them, and I am constantly just hearing new forms of testing, and it's just really hard for me to relate because I don't know anything about them, and it seems like I'm the only one. And there's just so many that I feel like I can't keep up. So that's something that I wish I would have learned in depth in this program. Insights. I learned how to use YouTube to learn better. I had never really used YouTube before. I never thought of it as a tool for teaching myself, but when things were hard to understand, I always turned to YouTube in this class because the models kind of all seemed the same when they were in words, like in the textbook. They all sounded really similar, and it was hard for me to tell them apart, so I would always turn to YouTube. I really liked that they had examples on each YouTube video, and they were all made by teachers, so they were really well taught. I learned really well through real life experiences and examples, so the way that they used that in their teaching was really nice for me, and it gave me, I never ever left YouTube not understanding a teaching concept or model. And the last thing that I have insights on was I thought it was interesting that I was able to kind of transfer ideas and share thoughts and opinions and ideas with secondary education majors. I didn't think that our paths would really connect all that much, but it turns out that our opposite way of thinking, where I am an elementary school teacher, I kind of think more out of the box, I simplify things, I'm sillier. I really focus on examples and easy to understand examples and real life things, whereas I've realized that the secondary education teachers are very mature, and so it was really cool to help them out with things that were really actually pretty simple to me, but that they found really hard to relate to. So yeah, it's been a great semester. That's my video.